Hey guys, welcome back to the Stillwater Mills. These are the old mills that have collapsed or burned down from the 1800s. We did an earlier video on these, and right now we're returning. This time we're going to go deeper into the mills and to the base to see what's actually inside.
Although it is sunset basically right now, we can get a different perspective because we were here at night before. Now we're here during the day, and I'm already seeing some new details on this building I didn't mention previously.
Let's see what we got in here.
So what you point out to me is you can see the old sprinkler system. Now remember, this mill did go through a series of slight renovations before it was phased out due to the trucking industry and the railroads going away. But you can see the pipe here with a very early form of sprinkler. So they did have plumbing and electricity, because we noticed the knob and tube wiring that was still on some of the beams.
Yeah.
If you see the wires hanging down with the little porcelain beads on them, that's the knob and tube, early electricity. So at one point, this mill, even though it had fieldstone foundation and it had some upgrades, with the brick and the modern cobblestone and everything.
I was going to say they had to bust this brick down to see inside again.
Yeah, so what we see is this was originally a window. I doubt that's the original wood framing, but we have very old wood framing on it. And then probably when this was just used as a storage building or something, they cinder blocked it up. Cinder blocks were here, and now they got it busted down so you could look in here like we're doing right now.
Let's go down to the bottom and see what's down there. So the way down is going to be over here. We got to walk by the second mill right here. And yet that's Capron Pond, right?
So this is Capron Pond.
Yeah. All right, now watch your step over here. Yeah, this is the second mill. Yeah, you can see the old wheels still down there where they would turn the
Yeah. So you know it's most likely very early 1800s build because of the fieldstone walls. They weren't using lumber because it was still expensive and rare to have large enough beams back then. So they had all the stone wall on the far end you can see there.
And that wouldn't burn down either.
Wouldn't burn down. It was sturdy as hell. It just took a long time to build it.
Yeah, all right, let's go this way. So the way down was over here. If we get to this area. Okay.
How did I not find this before?
It was tough to see at night for sure. Look at this. Yeah, you really can get a good view of the inside over here now that we're on the bottom, and you can see there was a second floor that collapsed, and the top of this building burned down as well. There was a huge fire here in the 80s supposedly. Look at the collapsed ceiling. You think there's asbestos in there? There has to be.
So the times of asbestos might have actually been a little bit later.
Yeah.
I believe it was late 1800s, early 1900s.
I mean, would potentially all this be? Look at that. Is that a big chunk?
Look at concrete, not sure. I mean, you remember the asbestos could have been the concrete. You just don't want to say, bro, look at this stuff. Look, can you try to figure out what
the design, yeah.
Was this so that it looked nice? Like they would, this is just a design, right? It look like it was made out of bricks.
I think so, yeah.
See, I mean, this was a pretty significant sized building back in the day. If you think about when this was level, when there was no beams falling to the floor,
yeah.
Pretty big place.
Oh, there's the windows too. You can see the.
You have some original window glass.
That's crazy. You really can see, and you got to think about all the people that really worked their lives away in these mills, huh?
Yeah. So this was definitely the room that had the big
the wheels
here, so that would power the whole mill for doing textiles and fabrication.
You can see how the floor collapsed right there.
Yeah, yeah. It's getting eaten away by animals and the weather.
Oh, there's a good view right there. We were up there before in the top. A lot of these windows are boarded up still. Still see the piping. Now this is the other building down here, that way. Oh, whoa, look at all this metal.
Yeah, look at this, like a long steel tie to something.
There's crumbling rocks and.
It's kind of crazy to be.
Yeah.
You know what you'd like to show the fans actually? Why don't you show them this outer tie here? Let's try to see.
Yeah.
Everybody watching this video, does anybody know what that is?
That's
not there for decoration.
Hanging on the side?
Yes. That actually would be a bolt that would go right through the building to help upkeep the floors. Notice it's in the right in the middle of the building. So that would go right through, and they had that here so you couldn't suck it in. So that way it would help the structure stay up.
Yeah, you can see. Oh, you can see where the light bulbs were. Oh wow, there was a staircase right here.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Okay.
Yeah. So that would go upstairs. Jeez. Let's go to this one. I know, it looks like
I don't know
some
what that square is, but you know, it's something that's decaying out.
concrete that could have been in between the two. There's a another structure that collapsed over here. It looks like we're standing on. There's bricks.
It's impossible to tell what it was now, but look at this.
Yeah.
Wow, water still flowing underneath the mill. This is
Yeah, look at this. And I'm not sure what this metal piece was over here, but this is incredible.
This is crazy, dude.
Yeah, you actually can see the.
It's still flowing right through it. Oh my.
Look at that. That's incredible.
Look how orange it is. You notice it's all orange there because it's got a lot of steel rotting away.
Yeah, this is the rotted copper, it looks like, or.
Oxidization, yeah. I believe it would be steel. It
Well,
looks like copper.
definitely not stainless steel. Alright, watch your feet to make sure there's no nails. Oh yeah, I can see it.
What do you see?
Okay, so there still is actually a floor. And behind there, oh wow, there's an open gap where you'd be able to see the river flow through. See that? That looks like some kind of a piece of furniture.
Yeah, it was an old cabinet. Oh my
Look at
god,
that.
this one's way well more preserved.
Oh my god, yeah, look at, there's a metal thing right there they used to make something on. What is that?
Yeah, it could have been an old lathe, but it was definitely had to do with manufacturing.
Some kind of a table.
So that probably had power going to it from the wheel here.
This one still has the floor.
On the far end, trying to show them the far end,
Yeah.
there's a staircase too that's still very well intact.
Oh yes, I can see it. It's stone, it looks like. But that floor right there is collapsed.
Yeah. Yeah, do not go walking.
Oh no, then you'll fall right in the water. Look at, there's a huge door right here. There's stairs up there. Those metal stairs that have now collapsed.
Even just appreciating this wall, dude. Look at the wall they built. Can you imagine they built that by hand?
I know. Back then they had no choice. There was no mass machines to do it. And now on the other side down there, which looks like it's behind the condos, it really looks like you can see through the entrance, but I can't believe, you're right that that's so crazy that still is.
You know what I want to ask the professionals? What was that little nook right there? See that?
Yeah.
Right there, they must have had something that fits into there or something similar.
Must have been designed for something.
Can't figure out what that
Look at that, you can still see the burnt boards whenever the fire happened.
Yeah. Yeah, these big boards are still rotting away on the bottom here. And we can hear that there's water falling in there. I wonder what that looks like, but I don't think any of us are going down there.
No, what do you think that basket was right there behind you?
Well, probably a basket for putting all the tools
Looks
in.
like a wheel right there.
They wheel out the material probably, so I'd imagine, see, back in the day, they'd put whatever they're making textiles or manufacturing, this had a bottom to it, so they'd put all the stuff in here and they'd wheel it out to where the train would pick it up right on this end. So they'd probably do that and load up the train. The train came right up to the building. That's how it worked. I would love to put on big rain boots and get to walk up to there to see.
Yeah, and see what's down there.
What's there, yeah.
I'm not sure you'd get to the other side, but there is, it looks like another entrance on that side. Look at the amount of piping that's still in these woods. I mean, I bet if you took a metal detector in here, you could probably find some cool stuff. I don't know what this is.
Alright, so let's see. I know what this is, look. see it goes mill to mill. There was probably a wheel for power or
Oh yeah.
something, either delivering water or something like that. So if you film it here and show the people going down. There's a set
oh,
here,
yep.
a set here,
There's two sets actually. Yeah, you're right.
So it was either conveyor belt for goods, or it was the water power was transferred through a long rod or something.
I wonder if they had a bridge, like a footbridge too. You can walk over. But that's incredible to see that. Wow. You know, you do gotta appreciate the way things look now in our modern day, because it shows here everything gets lost to decay. These people that were working down here hundreds of years ago, they never would have thought it would look like this, you know?
Yeah. You know, just laying around is just these historical bricks. He's going to be 200 years old. You know, there's no etchings on them or anything like that, but the extra bricks are just laying right here.
More metal pieces in the woods. Look at that metal box.
I see some heavy
barrels.
Stuff, yeah.
There's a fence. See the fence?
Yeah, I do.
So this area has so much wooden pieces. I mean, they must have had this like a wooden platform over here.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. So look at this. I like this right here. Yo, this wheel was old.
Holy shit.
Maybe to an old conveyor belt or something, but if you guys want to start a museum, come over here and pick it up.
I know. How are none of these in a museum right now? This is just like...
I feel like it was a little bit more modern where it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Because I think this might have... When was the fire, dude? Was it
1980s it happened. This,
yeah,
so
1980s. So because it was still around the 1980s, like not that historical.
I think it was abandoned at that time, though.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm not sure.
We can put the article. Oh, wow. Look at this. There's actually a little bridge over here, Nick. In the woods. You can see... I wouldn't have been able to see this if it was darker. Let's see what's over here. Wow, there's actually, look at, okay, so this bridge right here is old, obviously, but this fence that we're looking at must have been the original fence. Look at that tree that knocked it down. There's an entrance over here. And you know what? This area, this is actually the grounds of the Stillwater Scenic Trail. That's on the other side of that river right there.
Really?
Yes, because I've actually been here before, a long time ago, and I tried walking on that bridge. It was a little sketch.
Yeah, I gotta get a picture of it over here.
Yeah, look at that old bridge. Wow.
Yeah, so I can see. Think about the materials they had, guys.
There's more over there, you see, in the distance?
Oh yeah, I do see another bridge.
More bridges.
If you pay attention, guys, it was wood was placed over it, but originally, look, it has the steel beams. You know what those steel beams are, like we said before? Those are just railroad steels.
Yeah. They had to reuse everything. They would not let anything go to waste back then.
Yeah, so instead of ordering a custom beam from New York or Philadelphia, they just had the railroad that would use that. You get a couple pieces of track and put it down for a bridge.
Definitely more than one bridge, though. You can see there's a few of them that...
Yeah, I'm trying to think, what was on that side of town? What was on
the
that
railroad
side?
tracks would have been from the scenic trail. So you see that upper area right there, Nick? That's the Smithfield Scenic Trail.
Yeah, okay. I see it's raised up.
Yeah.
Yes. You know, we're not going to do it, but I'll tell you what. If you ever need to cross the bridge, you can, as long as you follow the steel beam and walk directly above it. We're not going to do it.
Yeah, you're right.
Fuck that.
Well, because if you step somewhere wrong,
your
foot will go right through it.
Giant the wood was. I just want to see what it looked like when it was brand new, dude. That's what I want to see.
I bet there was probably posts, too.
And you know what's weird? That's like an unnatural clearing over there. I wonder what the deal is with that.
Well, it's a trail, so if you follow that trail, it's going to lead to where those other bridges are, and then it's eventually going to loop around to get to the scenic trail.
Yeah.
And that way.
Definitely. No, yeah, the scenic trail is right there,
It's
which
right over there.
was a railroad when this was operating. These people live right here next to all this history, right?
Yeah. No, they cleared these out, and these mills were built later. Where do we come in from? This way? Yep. And you can see there's the gate. Oh, there's the other bridge right here. Look at this.
No way.
There's another one, because there's that one in the woods. So this is probably how they would cross to the other side. Wow, and look at the gates how they're destroyed. This has been an adventure, huh?
So I'll tell you what, guys, face over here to the left. They took the time to build up all these walls after the mill, because if you didn't build that up, it'll slowly start to eat away due to erosion at the sides, and it'll start to eat out the land. So they wanted it to stay upright like that, so they still built all these stone walls all the way out. You can see it gets lower over there, but
when they didn't need it as much anymore.
yeah.
Look at that drainage pipe over there too.
Oh, yeah.
That could have been from the plumbing of the building. These are all the reused pipes for the bridge.
Yeah, they had a little rail, and I guarantee a horse and buggy was going over this.
Yeah.
Pedestrian. When it was a brand new bridge, it must have been pretty good quality, because I mean, you get the steel reinforced.
You see the stone in the bottom and the steel beams through the crack.
Yeah.
This is incredible that we're seeing this history. I can't believe that they haven't made this area.
Is that one last bridge down there?
I think it is, yeah. There's, I think, a second one in there too. There's a few of them. So they probably made it all like nice and tidy for a horse and buggy. But I can't believe that we're here like this right now. Yeah, we'll head. We'll head back in right now. Something's right there. I think the biggest thing to be scared about in here might be asbestos, if it really is a thing.
Guys, in the comments, try to spell asbestos. I know how to spell it. You guys know how to. I can spell it.
I can spell it. I'd rather have people identify what that concrete-looking powder is, if it's asbestos or not. Watch out for rusty nails and stuff, because you can see right here, there's metal just sticking right out of the ground.
Is there? Okay.
Yes, so definitely watch out for where you step. Like, that's sketching me out that our feet are going through that.
Oh, there's a hole over there?
Yeah. There's another one of these baskets. There's a tire. Did you ever notice, like, when you're in the woods and there's always random junk, there's always a tire? Like, how did the tire get there?
Tire's there because it's expensive to get rid of them.
They just throw it. Yeah.
People roll them down a hill and just forget about it.
I guess you're right. That's probably what they did. Look at all this junk. So this must be all mill junk.
Yeah. It's crazy that the whole place is just trashed and decaying.
I know. I don't understand why they wouldn't.
It'd be expensive to get rid of it, that's why.
Well, not get rid of it, but like preserve this place better, you know?
I think after the fire, it's just like it's a loss.
Yeah. Well, because look at the whole top. I think there was a roof on it before. Oh, watch out for that.
Yeah. That would have been funny if you filmed.
I've done that on the camera before. All right, guys. Well, I think that was a successful journey. We got to go back and really explore these mills properly. So it was a lot. I think that we saw everything, really.
There's a lot more you see during the daytime.
Yeah.
Well, a lot more you can hear at nighttime. If you
Oh
catch
yeah.
my drift.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We definitely had some spooky experiences last time. The previous video will be linked now at the end. But I do appreciate you guys watching this one. We definitely did some good urban exploration.
Yes, this would be a very urban exploration type hike that we just did. I always love seeing the history and seeing what it is now, and wondering what the future is going to be if anybody purchases this land and sells the property or develops it. Yep. What the future is.
Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. We're going to be exploring a lot more abandoned properties and seeing what kind of secrets they hold. So stay tuned for the next one.